Hello and welcome to this Tales from the Hangar Aviation Rarities episode about the short Shetland. And I'm pleased to say yet again I've found some nice footage that will be shown further in this episode. The Shetland was a high-speed, long-range 4-engine flying boat built by Short Brothers at Rochester, Kent, England. And it was designed to be the eventual long-term replacement for one of my favourite aircraft, the excellent short Sunderland. The Air Ministry specification R1440 required a 4-engine, long-range reconnaissance flying boat capable of carrying a 4,000 pound or 1,814 kilogram bomb load and heavily defensive armament. The Shetland 1 was designed and constructed by Short Brothers with the collaboration of Sanders Roe or SARO, and work was started as early as 1940. During the course of the Second World War, small-scale test flights were carried out using the specialist two-seat test aircraft, the SARO A37 Shrimp, when the Shetland's hull, tail assembly and wingtip float profiles were evaluated. Shorts were responsible for the manufacture of the larger parts of the structure and for the assembly and flight testing, while SARO looked after the detailed design and wing component manufacture, including flaps, ailerons, engine mountings and wingtip floats. Its manufacturing consisted of an all-metal cantilever central box spar wing, aluminium alloy fabric covered ailerons, and its hull was alclad sheet covered with flush riveting, and the tail was a cantilever structure alclad covered and fabric covered on the control surfaces. The Shetland was powered by four 2,500 horsepower Bristol Centaurus 11 engines with de Havilland 4-blade hydromatic constant speed air screws. The aircraft also featured various new technical developments like the roll-tall auxiliary generators. They drove all the ancillaries, and its 110 volt electrical system was the first on any British aircraft. It also featured reversible pitch inner propellers for water manoeuvring. And talking of water, I don't know if you can hear the rain on the roof of my bunker, but I'm going to carry on anyway. The hull was huge, 110 feet in length, and it had two decks that accommodated a crew of 11, with gun turrets in the bow, dorsal and tail positions. It was fully fitted out for crew comfort and operational duties, for patrols of up to 24 hours duration. At the time, the Shetland was the largest British flying boat ever built, and for example, the height of the bottom of the keel to the tip of the fin is over 40 feet. It was only 50 feet less in wingspan than the American Martin Mars. The first of the two ordered prototypes, short S-35 Shetland 1, was serial Delta X-Ray 166, and its first flight was from the River Medway on December the 14th, 1944, piloted by John Lancaster Parker.
Aviation news comes from Rochester, where the launching of Britain's largest flying boat has just been carried out. She's the short SARO Shetland, a civil version of the giant machine used during the war. She's designed to carry 70 passengers and a crew of 11. Her maximum speed is 267 miles an hour, and with a payload of nearly 8,000 pounds, she has a range of 4,650 miles at a cruising speed of 184 miles an hour. Those are the figures, and our pictures certainly give a pretty good idea of the enormous size of the new Shetland.
I'm pleased to say I've teamed up with an exciting new company called High Flyer Co. And I first met up with them a few months ago at an event, and I was very impressed by all their products. They offer high quality and really nicely designed aviation apparel, including t-shirts, jumpers and hoodies, coasters, keyrings and phone cases. And they also offer, for example, personalised or customised phone cases, Zippo lighters, metal or leather keyrings, wooden coasters and patches, all ideal to treat yourself or brilliant for gifts. My order arrived all nicely packaged with a couple of very nice looking leather iron-on patches. And the keyring was really impressive, the fine detail is amazing, and I've been carrying this in my pocket for over a month now, and it stood up really well against being scratched by all my keys. So please do have a look at their website and you will get a 10% discount off your first order if you use the code HUTTONHANGER10.
Britain's largest flying boat, the short Shetland, was recently launched at Rochester. Following up our pictures of that event, we show you how this giant machine behaves in flight. A flying boat like this is a really comfortable way of enjoying long-distance travel. She can carry 70 passengers well over 4,000 miles at nearly 200 miles an hour. The future service of this aircraft, however, is in doubt. though she may be used for flights to Australia and the Far East.
The prototype was fitted with dummy bow and tail turrets only, and had no military equipment fitted due to the indecision on what it should have. Oh, it stopped raining. After the test flying and trials, Delta X-Ray 166 was delivered to the Marine Aircraft Experimental Establishment at Felixstowe in October 1945. Testing indicated satisfactory water handling, but the stabilising floats were mounted too low and did not offer sufficient clearance for takeoffs with maximum loads. Flight testing revealed problems with harmonisation of controls and marginal stability. Production would either have taken place at Lake Windermere because the hangar was not big enough, or possibly the hangar would have been moved back to Rochester. The prototype was built at Rochester because in the end they never bothered to move the hangar from Windermere. Fitting the tail had to be done outside. Because they could not fit it in the hangar, Delta X-Ray 166 had to be flown back to Lake Windermere for weighing and essential centre of gravity calculations. Before the test and trials were finished, Delta X-Ray 166 was destroyed by an overheating oven galley fire at its moorings at RAF Felixstowe on January 28, 1946. The two crew that were on board thankfully jumped and swam for it. But there's more. After the end of the war, the second prototype, now designated the short S-40 Shetland II, serial number Delta X-Ray 171, was completed as a civil transport. It was designed to carry 70 passengers, but only 40 seats were in fact fitted. It was big enough to be basically fitted out in many configurations for various civil operations. The Shetland Mark II Golf Alpha Golf Victor Delta first flight took place on September 17, 1947. After trials, it was delivered to Short's factory at Belfast, but no orders were forthcoming. In fact, it was the end of the flying boat era, as many runways had been built during the war and lots of surplus transport aircraft were available. Victor Delta performed only limited flight trials before finally being scrapped in 1951. The Shetland was late to the party and appeared to be just as good as the Sunderland. I hope you enjoyed that with the rain sound effects. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, drop in a comment is always appreciated, and thank you, goodbye.